Here's a headline nobody saw coming. In some of the most secular countries on earth, young people are asking for baptism in record numbers. France, once called the eldest daughter of the church, then written off as post-Christian, saw 17,800 catechumens baptized at Easter 2025. That's a 48% increase from the previous year and a 160% jump over the last decade. Early data suggests 2026 will surpass 20,000. In Paris alone, catechumens rose 17%. Versailles jumped 24%. Nîmes saw a 49% increase. Metz, 23%. Rennes, 32%. And it's not just France. In Sydney, 338 adults will be baptized this Easter, a 35% increase in 1 year, with candidates for full communion up 95%. Brisbane nearly doubled, from 241 to 454. The Diocese of Westminster celebrated its largest Rite of Election in 15 years, with nearly 1,500 seekers. Belgium tripled its adult baptisms in a decade, reaching 689 this year, a 30% jump. The numbers are so striking that even the Vatican is paying attention. In July, Pope Leo XIV welcomed nearly 600 young catechumens and neophytes from France, Switzerland, and Austria to the Youth Jubilee. He told them baptism commits them to renounce a culture of death that is very present in our society. What's driving this? Father Roberto Rigoli, professor of contemporary history at the Pontifical Gregorian University, calls it a sign of a new era, a renewed search for God among young people in secularized societies. He notes that for some, spiritual searching begins with a kind of supermarket approach, but the Church can offer structured answers. The pandemic played a role. COVID forced existential questions about meaning, mortality, and purpose, questions secularism couldn't answer. Social media became an unexpected gateway. Catholic influencers on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok now reach millions of young people who would never set foot in a church. But Bishop Benoit Bertrand of Pontoise, whose diocese saw hundreds of baptism requests, points to something deeper. If this phenomenon continues, he says, it will lead to a true transformation of our Christian communities. The catechumenate, once a secondary parish service, may become the heart of pastoral life. Not everyone is convinced this is a full revival. Guillaume Couchet, historian at the Sorbonne, notes a striking contrast. While adult baptisms surge, infant baptisms have collapsed, from 400,000 in 2000 to barely half that today. Only 1/3 of French babies are baptized. This isn't a general return to cultural Christianity. It's a specific movement among young adults, many from non-religious backgrounds, making entirely free choices to embrace faith their parents rejected. Some observers worry about what these converts are seeking. Noel Mering of the Ethics and Public Policy Center notes that young men, in particular, often want clear boundaries, what's allowed, what's not allowed, which can sometimes lead to rigidity before maturity softens it. Archbishop Anthony Fisher of Sydney, whose archdiocese is breaking conversion records, sees something else: young people craving a church that is a strong anchor in a transient, unstable world, not one that tries to be too adaptable. And then there's the practical challenge. Parishes accustomed to 3 catechumens suddenly face 60, mostly under 30. Elderly parishioners struggle with the questions these young people bring. Priests find themselves asking for guidance on incorporating rites they've rarely used. But perhaps that's the point. Archbishop Peter Comensoli of Melbourne, after visiting France to study the phenomenon, concluded it's not a programmatic success. It is a movement of the Holy Spirit. In a church torn by internal conflicts over liturgy, authority, and doctrine, the young people knocking on doors asking for baptism may be the ones who remind everyone what they're fighting about in the first place. They're not coming for nostalgia or ideology. They're coming because someone called them. And the church, surprised and unprepared, is scrambling to figure out what to do with them.